Have you ever thought about investing in Wall Street or getting into the European Stock Exchange? What about placing your money in international mutual funds and other global instruments? While regulations prevent local institutions from offering such services, some industry experts say the feat is not at all that impossible. The Global Investor Center, a pioneering education facility specializing in global portfolio management, says even if Filipinos cannot directly invest in the global market from here, there are already some avenues available to bring the Filipino to those global markets. Now, joining us this morning to tell us more about investing in the global markets are Doby, Atilano, and Francisco Colayco, the founders of the Global Investor Center. Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us. Good morning at the ANC. Mr. Colayco, I'll direct the first question to you. Why invest outside of the Philippines?
Well, as I said, investing is not for everyone. But for those who have excess funds, those who have investing money, or really for investing money long term, there are many options that are not available in the Philippines, but are available globally.
Like what, sir?
Oh, well, for example, our mutual funds are very limited. It's limited to our own capital market, which is very small. And in fact, for those who have global operations, we really want to also hedge their investments in hard currency. And that would be the excellent venue for them would be global investment venues, which means global mutual funds, hedge funds. For those who know, though we can explain the more sophisticated investments available, like investing in global platforms, investment platforms, etc. But the point is, the key rule in investing is everything is risk prevent. So you need to be able to allocate funds. If you are a serious investor, you don't want to invest everything in the local market. You want to allocate your investments globally as well. That's just a sound principle in investing, allocation of funds. So while it is illegal to sell funds here, it's not illegal to invest abroad. All companies invest abroad, individuals invest abroad. There's nothing illegal. Unfortunately, the SEC says local investors have been victimized to the extent of 70 billion pesos in the last 5 years, investing in scams overseas, sold here locally by illegal operators. That is the logic why Doby and I founded the Global Investor Center, to really educate the investing public on what are the legitimate funds and who are the legitimate brokers and who are the legitimate distributors.
Okay, I'll ask you about the scams later, but Doby, Mr. Colayco did say that the market here in the Philippines, instruments being offered here in the Philippines are kind of limited. And when you go global, there are a number of instruments, but isn't that going to be more difficult since there are more things to study and learn and find out about?
That's exactly where the Global Investor Center comes in. It's basically pure education. Because there's a lot of products abroad. Investment platforms that are used for pensions and savings, funds that we're not aware of, basically. And the Global Investor Center brings in the top managers of these huge companies, Fortune 500 companies, in the Philippines, but abroad, we take them in the Philippines, we take them, and to speak and educate the Filipinos on how to do it the right way.
Doby, tell me what are the basic things I should know before I invest abroad?
Basic things are usually look at jurisdiction. Very important.
Why is this important? Jurisdiction.
For example, for each country, there's different types of levels of protection. For example, in the Philippines, we've got our PDIC here. If the bank crashes, we've got 250,000 pesos guaranteed, regardless of how much we have in the bank. In other countries, like Guernsey, for example, before you incorporate there, you have to be a huge sound company. They check the managers if they Harvard degrees or Princeton.
And you can't just invest as an individual. You have to be a company before you.
Well, I'm talking about companies basically that I'm talking about the company to look for in terms of jurisdiction.
Okay,
the company
okay.
is sitting in a good jurisdiction, like for example, an Isle of Man jurisdiction, which guarantees 90% of the value of the money of the client in case the company collapses, sort of like the PDIC of Atilano. But these are the things that people don't know about. There's extra level of protection by going outside the Philippines. Hence, for high net worth individuals, for their excess cash and savings, for their future, you want to keep it safe. So even if the company goes bust, you have extra levels of protection because it's seated in the right jurisdiction. The jurisdiction is one of the big topics that we teach in the Global Investor Center. There's many jurisdictions such as BVI, British Virgin Islands, I'm sure you've heard of that, Isle of Man, Guernsey, Jersey. Basically, iba-iba yung protection nila. Mga iba some people, they put up companies, like in BVI, you can put up a company. Even I myself, even if you don't have much money, you can incorporate in BVI. So maraming scams lumalabas from there. They incorporate there, they put up the scam, the whole mechanism, and then they sell it here.
And Mr. Colayco did say something about that. Mr. Colayco, how do I differentiate between a legal transaction offering an investment abroad as opposed to a scam?
Abroad or locally?
Pareho.
Okay, locally, if you come to me and give me an investment product, you have to have a secondary license to the SEC that the product is a registered security. Second, that you're a company with the license to sell the security. And thirdly, that you are an agent with the license to sell that security.
So that's the first thing I have to ask from the person offering me an opportunity to invest locally. Show me a license, show me the SEC license of your company, and then your license to be an agent, right?
And the license to sell.
That's locally. But globally, it's another topic altogether. It's a different thing that you have to look for if you're investing outside the Philippines. What you're looking for if you're investing outside the company is number one, the rating of the company. There are rating companies such as Moody's, Fitch, S&P. Usually, the Philippines, we're at risk level B, right? BB. So you have to look in the company. For example, someone approach you, you ask for the rating. If it's AA or AAA, it means it's a good channel to put your money and it's very safe. Number two, again, I was talking about jurisdiction. Number three, capitalization. Number four, how long has the company been?
So you really have to do this research on the agent that's offering you that instrument and the company he belongs to. How do I double check those things? So I just go to the internet and just Google the names of those companies and see. I mean, you could be using the same information you got from the internet. But how do I
give an example? The scams recently, Royal Manchester.
Right.
You Google them, you see those funds don't exist. You Google a legitimate fund, you will find the site, you will find the jurisdiction, you will find the government regulatory body that says yes, they're registered. But if you cannot find them, obviously they're not.
But if this person approaches me and uses the same information that he got from the internet, it could be the same thing. How do I make sure? How do I really make sure that this guy is really legitimate and the company he represents is really legitimate? Is there any other way aside from
to begin with, if a local agent is selling to me a foreign product and that product is not registered here, he cannot do it.
That's illegal.
That's illegal.
That's the first thing I should look at. The product is from abroad, but he's selling it here. That's illegal.
So the thing is, in 2007, we lost 80 billion pesos or